Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today's painting is, as you can see, that's the photo I put. The front foreground rocks will just try to manipulate with the different rocks because the texture is too much. Then there are different ways to do that, but I'll try to come up with a different type of rock for that. So if you are I'm here with my daughter, so she is actually assisting me. And then, if you are here for the first time, please consider subscribing so that you get to know the future live or any videos that I publish on YouTube. So this is the canvas cloth. That's what I've taken because I have so many paintings which I can't store them. So that's the reason I've taken canvas cloth. I can actually store them. Um, I've drawn a little bit of rocks, like as you can see, the type of rocks I've taken is a little bit different, but the color will try to match based on the colors what we have. And then one third is just the sky. Sky is according to this composition, the foreground, and then a little bit of color background. With the color is the one which is the water is the one which is the main subject. So based on that, this is not our main composition wise. Sky is not the main. So there are different compositions are there. If the rocks can actually go over the horizon, I've drawn intentionally below the one which the photo what you can see is exactly horizon. So depending on the photo reference or even the photography itself, so you have to understand how the photography was taken based on composition. So here the composition is rock is below the horizon and this part is actually going to go above. So we'll just try to paint a simple gray color sky and then the colorful water and then the stones in the foreground. So let's begin. So I'm going to use the flat brush, which is this is actually Faber Castell flat brush. If I need, I will use this, but at least most of the time I'm going to use this. Just a round brush, number 3 round brush, and then angular brush. This has become hard, so it is actually very easier for me to go into the tooth of the canvas itself. So here is my data. Hello. Okay, so let's get started. What I'm going to do here is I'll take cerulean blue. I have a small container with water and those brushes, and I'll be using my Winsor Newton paints. So that's what I'm going to. Some of the colors are there which I might use from Artist Loft or otherwise Camel brands. So whatever, whenever I've completed those ones, they're finished. So I'm using those ones. So let's just try to squeeze some paint just so that we get the sky done. Not too much, but it has to be grayish blue. But before that, what I want to do here is I totally forgot about that. To get the line crisp, I am actually going to put this. Otherwise, I might not get it. Let's put that. It's better. Otherwise, I'll be struggling with that. So only the top one needs to be because I'll remove this once this is done. Otherwise, we'll have to just concentrate on just that. And then little bit of white. So how do I get the gray for the blue sky? If you want grayish, so you have 2 3 options. Blue is primary color, so you can actually use red and little bit of yellow, so that it becomes little bit of brownish grayish color. You can actually add don't add black, but you can try with Payne's gray. What I'm going to do here is this is a raw burnt umber, or otherwise raw umber. So I'm actually going to use raw umber, a little bit of raw umber, so that way I can bring it. You get to know when we mix, because what will happen is now if I take that white, let's put that white in the sky. It has to be very grayish color. I don't need much of white here, and it's very small area. That's the reason I've taken bigger brush. it can reach the places very fast. So let's paint that. So,
Just for saying, when these both of these colors are opaque, so they're gonna give better color.
no, this cerulean is not opaque. I think it is opaque. Yes, this one is opaque. Right, that's correct. So here I want to get that gray color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a drop. Don't, even if you're adding white and no, red and yellow, don't try to add too much because you want to make sure that it's just gray. Grayish color. Squeeze blue. Uh-huh. Yes, please have a little. Let me add some. Let me add some blue to this because I feel that blue is not enough. Because we need to get that total gray type, right? So make sure go along this way. So at least I know.
And make sure when you're mixing, you don't put too less paint so that so that the paint just finishes and you're still not done. So you need to mix more paint. But once you mix more paint and you apply it, you see it's either it's a different color or otherwise it's more dark or more light.
So I will just leave it here. That should be my grayish color. So then grayish blue. That should be more than enough. Now let's go down and take out that.
Take out the tape.
Mhm.
Make sure you don't stick it on too hard so that you'll struggle to take it out.
Let me just wipe it now itself. So we're gonna put. Okay, so next blue. So let it dry by the time we'll take. I'm actually going to use phthalo blue. You can use Prussian blue. I think both of them are okay. The colors that you need to have on your palette. First, make sure that you have all the colors because you'll be actually covering most of the area, at least some area here. And white, little bit white.
In all the mediums, white is the main color.
Main color, right? So what else is there? That color, and I need turquoise. This is the turquoise color again.
Oh.
Every time. Okay, take it. Poison with paper. Okay, so every time it just comes out, I don't know why. Okay, so let's take out this. It's dry. I'm not going to use any. Yes, should be enough. That should be good enough. Next is the sky. So the water. Let's try water. I'm going to put straight now. And I didn't add any water, and we'll try to smudge as much as possible. Blend this here. So here you have to be very careful, or otherwise I can put the tape on top, but I'm not going to put it. I will take it as much as possible. I hope this is not too dark, but we'll try. I'll just go along that line as much as possible. At least that tape actually gave us a guideline where and how.
Although putting tape on the top would not be a good idea.
Top you can put, but if it dries, you can.
No,
put.
but it's not dried. What if the paint itself
No,
comes out of the
if
tape?
I was actually doing it on my own full time, yes, I
Yeah, then that would be a bit right.
correct.
For sake of life.
So here I am just going to leave it like that. That's enough. That's too dark, I think. What we'll do is, for that reason, I'll take some little bit of white and make it little bit lighter, a little bit lighter. So when I come down, I will not touch, as you can see, I'm not going to touch the area where I don't need to touch, especially the rocks. Yeah, I think it's straight line. I've tried, so that should be enough. Again, I'm going to wash my brush because it's too dark. You have to remember that acrylic dries darker. I'm going to use this and white together. Otherwise, that will be dark again, too dark. Behind that is a little bit of turquoise here. Don't worry if it goes on top of the rock little bit. I'm not worried about it. At least, yes, there we'll come back because this is where we need to manipulate anything we want to manipulate here. Mainly blending, concentrate on blending. Here again, okay, check that. Uh, Take that little bit darker blue if you want anywhere. Just put those lines so far away, waves or something. So that dries darker anyway, so you have to be very careful with that. So then, where else? I have now itself. I'm going to apply this turquoise. We can manipulate things later. Here, I have turquoise. We need to blend. Make sure if you are using paper or something, you have to be very careful about. I'm not going to put that there, and here also I'll just put some. Let's see, we'll manage with all that. This here is not much. Okay, so some color is there, we need to manage. So what we'll do is, this area has to be a little bit uh, I'm going to use ivory black. I'm going to use ivory black just to get the gray, very light gray, not too much. But the main thing is I also need some to get this little bit of uh, brownish color because it's what do you call it is gray, but it's not exactly that gray. So I am going to take touch of that, and then that should be good enough. Remember, acrylic dries darker, so this is the time. That's the color I have there. Make sure it just goes on top of the rock a little bit, and this is the time you need to blend. If you have anything, all white is going to come. See if it is canvas, at least you have the time to blend this. There is that color. That's a color, and I will also put that color somewhere here too, because that's a color you have here, a little bit white. Right? Okay. Now more white, gray color, a touch of burnt umber. That will actually give me that grayish color here. Right. I am just going random here, just leaving some space here. If we really need, then we have to manipulate this later. So this is where if we want to put that those colors, we can actually manage those colors now itself. Let's try that one too. I need here. We might have to come back again after that. So it's olive green. So what for that reason, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my yellow. I already have a umber which I can use, or otherwise you can actually use a little bit of burnt umber if you really need a little bit of darkness. So it's better. I will take a little bit of burnt umber, that, and black is already there. So for olive green, black and yellow. So that's what I'm going to use. Black and yellow. I've taken what is that? Ivory black. So you have to keep that in mind. Just try to match the color how much dark you need depending on, because one value less means if it is little bit lighter is better, because so that is not enough. A little bit more, little bit more. Okay, I think that kind of color I can actually go even a little bit dark. Okay, let's just try a little bit more ivory black. Very rarely I use black, but yeah, that actually is more close to that. Okay, here let's just try. So here is some dark is there. I'm not going to touch there. We will come back later. And here too, a little bit of that green. I'm going to put here, here. Some green. So this has to be actually here. This is where we will manipulate two colors according to that reflection or flow. That's burnt umber what we have taken.
Why we have to put the green is because you can't say that the seawater is as pure as drinking water, so some
No,
garbage
the
in there.
rock, no rocks inside.
Mostly along the shore and this
Right?
because the
It's
sand is
all
there
possible, right?
around this along the shore. There is
I'm
the
going to
sand.
first color this, and then let's see how we get on with. Okay, now what I'll do is I'm just going to blend this. Just go. I have a blender, but I will just blend with this brush itself. We'll see how it goes. You don't have to have a blender, but let's just see if I really want a little bit of darkness here again.
Or otherwise, you can have a brush that is this big, and you can just in one stroke the whole thing will get blended.
Yeah.
Like a brush that is this much width, very big brush, and you just stroke it and it's done.
Yes.
Like in all the videos, you just put tap of the paint and
So here I think that should be enough. Anything we need, we will just manipulate later. Okay. So what else? What else? Let's try some of this. I think I need to put some dark here a little bit more.
don't make it too dark.
No, here on the camera it looks lighter, but it is dark in real. It's just make it's dark. Once it's done, you get to know exactly what is that color we have used. Camera it looks darker. Let's just try something here. Maybe, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Don't try to make the picture look like it's cut in half.
Okay. So that one is done. So we will get into the rocks and These rocks will come back later, but first we'll concentrate on this one. So for that, I'm going to use quinacridone gold, or you can use yellow ochre. I will use gold and yellow ochre, both of them I'll use. So let's just squeeze a little bit of this. That has to be used with white. And I need some more burnt umber because that's a color, and then the green is also there. Burnt umber. Then black is there, yellow. I need a little bit of yellow because I need to get some little bit of olive green on that. It's not the any sap green or anything doesn't work, so you have to be. Uh, okay, let's try this. I am going to use. I will use this one first. Better yellow ochre. Okay. So let's start with yellow ochre because I don't want to. Okay, this one actually has to go above my horizon. So I will take this above horizon according to that, and then I'll just start painting that. Let's paint this underpainting, and then we'll come back. I think that's where it is. I'll paint this underpainting just. Let's just take that for better. Then here a little bit. Again, let's go here. Okay. I could have used flat brush just to cover that. Okay, let's concentrate on a little bit of darkness, and then I'm going to use that burnt umber, just a drop of water. It's very hard out of the tube. So this is where I will make the shape of that first. So first let it be like that. It has to dry, so we'll come back again. For time being, I am going to put all downward strokes. This is only just so that I get the shape right, little bit values right. So we will come back there, let it dry. We have to come back again. So in the meanwhile, I have to add a little bit of olive green to that at the base here. I will actually blend that just straight there itself. If you feel that, then after that we'll go back with I'll try to manage exactly the same color, but you have to understand, if you have seen this you will know exactly how it looks like. It is just you have, because if you are painting you have the authority to change what you like, but keep it similar. In your here water is going to be there, and then so many other things are there. Here let's just put some that quinacridone gold. Going to take this is all going to show through when we put white, because these values are actually contradicting each other, so you won't be able to see that exact value there. So we will come back and do more of this little bit later. Okay, so that should be there. That is just one. I can actually put some more lines on top. Let's try this. This is the light one, so we don't want that gold color. If I'm going to put, I need to be very down, and then we'll increase the contrast and put some highlights too later. Let it, because it's getting mixed with the bottom layer, so it has to dry. So by the time we'll worry about these ones. I'm going to use my flat brush, otherwise it will take a longer time. Light is from this side, so wherever it is on top I'm going to put lighter, and then that side is darker, so that's what we will concentrate on. So this is where I want you to concentrate on colors. Let's mix all of them, and I'm going to take some my this one to burnt sienna. That gives me that red color out of that. So let's just see. Anything goes wrong here, it's easily fixable. So you have to know exactly where, how this formation is actually made out of. So you play with that actually, because rock or stone is something that you need to practice. But here in this case, although it looks some geometrical shapes, but in my mind I know which is going to be the top and which is going to be the side where it has to be darker, because light doesn't reach. That's the idea. So let's try to put I'm going to go with a little bit of this color everywhere. I'm not going to put the shadow one first. First I'll try this. We'll blend accordingly, so you get an idea exactly what is the top one, because that's, according to me, that's too dark. But we will take some white too. There, I think it's better. There is the top. I think this side is also down. Then here a little bit, maybe a little bit here, and then we'll put them dark, because then that contrast is there. Okay, so similarly what we'll do is we'll just make up some green color on that. Take some white too actually. Remember, it's just a mixture of all of them. We'll get to the shape, don't worry about it. This is where, if you want to make these shapes, you can actually make those shapes there. Okay, here, because I'm going to use again yellow ochre on all of them, that's why. Don't get too much on this. Okay, that should be enough. Then again with the flat brush, this is where, if you want to blend this. Any shape which you feel that is getting disappeared or it's not there, we have to fix all those. You can get the shape now itself if you want of Don't cover the entire thing because we want to make sure that green and this everything is actually shown through. Yeah, want to leave that little bit red. This I'm not sure this one actually has to be dark, I think, but we will make that decision a little bit later. Let's go this here. Take your burnt sienna and make sure that you have that reddish color, all that blended. This is the time you can actually cover your surface. Mainly concentrate on covering the canvas. Maybe this one I will put here. Not sure. Let's take some and sienna to blend it there itself. So you can actually leave that as a texture too. It's not that you can't. And make up some shapes here. Okay. If you want, we'll put some highlights later, so we will see how this goes. Okay, so here I'm going to put that the side ones where I feel that actually has to be dark. We'll manipulate this now. There. So I think you're getting the picture exactly how it is. This one actually has to be just darker. Oh, now itself will put the darker. So that darker and little bit white too. We'll manipulate that with first. Let's put the underpainting first, so we know what is that, and we'll shape it. Because if you keep on going for very realistic, then you have to know exactly each and every corner. But what I would say is just go part by part. You will know. Although I'm trying to put this all dark here and there, so you will know exactly what will happen later. So let me just leave it like that. If I really want, I can actually come through a little bit dark here and leave there. Let's do that one. So anything is there, we'll just put. We'll make that rock formation later a little bit, and maybe some more dark here under the water. Remember, we need to put some. Yeah, should be good. Okay, so next, what we do is let's try to figure out. I'm going to put a little bit of white in this burnt umber, although I need a little bit darker, but we'll come back with darker later. Otherwise, anyways, okay. Here, this is the time again if you want to make some shapes out of it with your airbrush. So this has a little bit darker value compared because light is from that side, so this side should be a little bit darker. I am just going to leave it as is. This is what I'm going to do. That edge and little bit inside I'm going to leave because you will get to know why I'm leaving that. Just there are different ways of actually painting rock in the sense different ways that many people use techniques. Which goes first, which goes next. That is all dependent on style. Once you learn a little bit of style, you get to know exactly what to and how to paint. So I am going to go here a little bit of that, and maybe there we forgot. I think we'll just put one there and one there too. Right? We'll develop that. We need to develop a dark tone. So by putting this way, then I can actually. This is just my way of painting this. So if you have any preferred ways, please use that method. I will actually go layer by layer all the time. So you are supposed to go layer by layer, not so here again that there. So here what we'll do is this just match with that. So as you can see, add a drop of water if you. This is a very old flat brush. I'm trying with that. So we will leave it there. So any other formation, we just have to work around with that. And here, all that highlight when we put, you get to know exactly what we are doing. Here, I need to make sure. So if I really want, this is where I will actually use a little bit of dark. I will come with the round brush, but let me use just a drop of water, but pure burnt umber. You can add black to that depending on how much, how dark you need. But I would say first apply this and then come back with anything you need. I'm just taking as much paint as possible, making sure that my value at the bottom is what I'm actually looking for. If it is not, we'll come back with that irregular shape at the top. So make sure you follow that. Mhm. Then we'll come back with the details, like I said. So that is what it is for now. Let's just try that. And now is the time that if you want to blend anything, blend it, because here anyways water is going to come. I'm not going to worry about it. Here I need to show the shape. Light is from that side, so this can be a little bit darker with shadow. This is where I'm going to blend it. But for that blending, I would say if you have a little bit of that olive green, use it. Right? Blend this on top so it doesn't actually have to leave any line. I think we have established at least some layer here, some form of layer. So we will just, okay, so that should be good enough. I hope this is dried, but let me just check this with this if it is not. Yeah, just a drop. I will come back to that later again. So here I need more burnt umber or Vandyke Brown. You can use Vandyke Brown too. So let me use Vandyke Brown. So this is Vandyke Brown. Folk art. This also, it's not available in India, but still you can if you have This is a little bit thick. Let me just take it out like that. It's very, very dark brown, but it's, what should I say, very good color. Very, very good color. Dark stone color. I'm going to take that much paint and here just let it get. I don't want my painting. Okay. Okay, so now for this, if you really need a little bit darker, first let's check this out. If it is enough, just add a drop of water because it's too thick. So when I say if it is darker or not, because remember that looks that dark when we paint, acrylic dries darker, so you have to be very careful with that one. Let's try. The cracks and crevices we will deal with that later, but highlight also we'll deal with that later. First let's try to put one time one side shadow side one, so we will know exactly. So this is the time if you really want to use your finger, you can. Okay, this is very, very irregular, so I don't have anything exactly. You have to go only this way or that way, but make sure that actually gives you a type of shape to look at, where it is from that side. How you can actually use any different types of brushes, but let's try this, because even now it feels like there is structure, but you're not able to see that properly, because it feels like we are only giving that shape rather than making it more realistic by all the details. So we'll put that. This is where actually you will spend more time, because the rest of the things actually we can manage that. We'll come back to that one too again. Okay, so let's try that part. Just irregular, it doesn't have to be same. Use the side of the brush, belly of the brush, so you might get some good texture too. This is the side where, see, the reason why I said we didn't want to put first darker. Again, there are different ways you can paint the darker and then come back with that. I'm going to leave it like that. So wherever it is needed, if you really need more darker, we'll come back with a mixture of paint which is darker. So for that, now you should be able to see some sort of shape, getting shape with that. And if we see any regular shape, we will uh, make sure that we put some shapes anywhere. We'll put those cracks, all that later, little bit, because after that we will put some highlights too. This is where you will spend more time, but it will be worth it. You need to get the proper shape details. I could have gone with the same thing what we have. It will take longer time, and then the technique itself is entirely different, because you need to get that texture. You can use, like I said, you can use sponge, sea sponge, right? white of the canvas, I can actually leave it like that because I can see some texture here and there. We'll go with a little bit white if you really need it. If it is really needed. Okay, now let's see where else. I forgot. I think here a little bit. There. Okay. Now let's try to put some cracks. This actually has to be very. You need to know where you are actually going to put it. Just don't put lines everywhere. Let it look more realistic. Again, this is actually comes with practice, so you can actually try this out. We'll put some highlights, so just to get that. Maybe we need to put some more darker ones. We will try that one too. No, here we didn't put again. This side I have this. Right. Okay, here. That's one thing. Okay, just take a drop of water. It's drying here. Okay, and then this. Okay, so I think I have managed enough. So that should be good enough. Here I feel that that part is a little bit should be more there. I think if it is. So just think that light is from that side. And anything you need now is if I want to build a little bit darker, I'm going to take that little bit black and add it to that. Black, ivory black is supposed to be, that is opaque. I've added more black to this Vandyke Brown itself, so I get a little bit darker. Just have to check. So let's just see. Now, anywhere I need to put, I am actually going to put a little bit darker, so that I can get a little bit darkness. If you feel that it has to be darker, so we will put some darkness there everywhere. And here I think there it needs a little bit darker too. At the bottom it needs darker, so we have to put that one. We should not forget that. A little bit darker there. Some light should be there here. I don't want to put that texture I need. And then I am going to put some darker here too. Little bit. Here actually it has to be a little bit darker. Light won't reach much here too. Okay, that's good enough. I can make a little bit. White of the canvas I have left a little bit here and there. This is done, that is done, that's done. Let me just do a little bit of dark. See, as you can see, I'm not covering the entire thing. You have to be very careful, otherwise what is the point of painting that if I'm not going to keep that. So that should be more than enough, but I still feel that I need some more dark at the bottom. So let me see if I can get that dark properly. Yeah, I think that dark is needed. Let me squeeze some more ivory black. Black with Vandyke Brown. So I'm trying to get this bottom darker. So the only way you can do that is by this, and then control that with contrast with the color which is above. Just want to make sure that it's irregular. It's not.
It's not a repeated pattern.
Pattern, yes. And then here, right? Then little bit here. So now with that itself, I'm going to take some white and make some marks there itself, so I can actually see the. Okay, this one I need to wash my brush and then just take it like that, because that has to have little bit of highlight and shadow for that one too. I don't want that to be again. Yes, makes more sense. Okay, so that one we got, and I think this actually has to be shadow, means it actually has to have a little bit of darkness there, and then we'll try. Right. Okay, so that's good enough. I think we have done good progress. Let's go back to our original first one, which we didn't complete. There also we need to put some darker light. Okay, so here is again the challenge.
For the lines of the rocks, the thinner the brush, the better.
Round brush at least.
Yeah, it's round, but the thinner or the smaller the brush, it's easier to put the lines and more details.
Yes. So as you can see, I am trying to make the shape, but downwards. Don't do horizontal. So this is downwards. So I am trying to get some shape out of whatever is there in that.
First time I even saw the photo, I felt like the rocks were chipped off,
Chipped off, yeah.
like they're completely flat, like a piece of paper. Someone took an axe and just it's very flat.
So here I can go downwards.
You can make your rocks look more wibbly wobbly by doing more shadows and more kind of curves.
So as you can see how I'm developing that part, although we put green, we will put white there, but that actually is going to look more realistic. So we'll just take that part and we'll put some on the top too a little bit because we didn't put much of dark there. That goes down. Then a little bit there too. Not play too much with that, but I think I will leave it like that. I don't think this far away one needs too much of highlight.
Pay more attention to the close one,
Hmm.
not the far one. Far one is
Right.
just there.
Just there, little bit there too. There. I think I will leave it like that. So we have good shape here. That is good shape there too. So that's enough. Okay. So now the question is to put the whites and then come back. We will see. Now the next thing is we have that blue that is there. We'll put some highlights on this before we start doing something else. Let's take that. We can take our golden yellow too, connected on gold. Wash your brush so you know exactly. Just not too much bright, but golden yellow. I need that golden yellow. Little bit of highlight here and there. I'm not going to put everywhere. So let's just see. Light comes there. You should be able to see the highlight that I'm actually trying to put now against that water, right? There a little bit. You can use your finger to. Because it's rock, so I'm going to leave it as that texture itself. Right, let's put some bright light here too because light falls there. So little bit bright light here, golden light. That golden light actually it is the color of the stone that I'm talking about here. Little bit here, little bit here too. What else? Here, do I need? That's enough. And here somewhere, let's put one, two. Let's see two. There, I think should be good enough. Right. Okay, I think I will not make it too dark. Now let's start worrying about just the white part. What I have is okay. I need black, yellow also. I need red, white. I need most white. I need now. Okay. Titanium white is anyways opaque. So let's try now. If you want to blend here, we should have done that time, but let's see because we have all the colors. We can actually mix those colors. Use your fingers too. So here, okay, let's just take some turquoise with white, more white, then try to get that way thingy going and use your finger right? Let me just use a flat brush because it will be easier for me to rub it on this. I'm just using most of it is dry brush. We forgot something on this stone, we didn't do anything. We will. So this is the turquoise with more white. As you can see, it's just because, and I'm just using dry brush very lightly because I need to get that going here. I'm not going to use that gray color, but I will use this for water as I will apply this first and only then I will put. So because this gives me again some kind of watery effect. Let's just see. Uh, all dry brush, just keep that in mind, just to get that color. And don't want to cover this entirely because then you lose. Now, while you're at it, just take a little bit white. Then I want you to make some lines for the water, just like that. Again, it's just a little bit, but not too much. That is just the water wherever it is. Water little bit splashing on top, so just keep it like that, just so that then anything we put, we'll just try to put lines on top of this. right? So that should be enough. Don't want to spoil that. Let's go back on top. Here is the most part, that just the type of wave that I'm looking at there. Yeah. I'm just using a very rugged, just flat brush. So let's just take that itself and then try to make those far away waves. Not detailed anyways, so you have to keep that in mind. Then let's break out this. That's enough. I'm going to just take some of this and then okay, very crucial. Don't spoil this. So this is where you will have a good grip of that water touching that shore here. I wanted to cover that yellow as much as just a little bit only is left, should be left, and then make sure that it is just some kind of splashing there, not that it is just right. Okay, so let's go there. Make sure you're not touching the rock. We should have done the reverse, but background to foreground. But I got just excited about rocks, and then that's what we did. Okay, this is where I'm going to switch back to my round brush because I'm not getting exactly what I want. I need some lines like that. This is again how much detail you want to put. Just trying some water which is this is where if I really want, I'll put some lines of any of this. Make sure you use just the round brush, and these are actually the flow you need to show. That's what I'm concentrating on. So that is just the flow. It's not exactly what you need to here. I think maybe here some lines. It looks very empty. Far away some lines too. Just put some lines. I think it should be good enough. So here a little bit, just like it's flowing that side. So I think that should be enough. I will not put too much of this, but I have forgotten to put some darkness to this. Otherwise, I won't be able to show that highlight. Let's take that. So if it is there, then I will just go with that shape and then there. Right. Then so that's what I'm going to leave it in. Let's try a little bit of dark here. So that one actually I gave that shape here. I don't see much of that shape. Highlight is there. So that is that water. We should have done that before, but still fine. We managed to do it. And if at any point of time if I want a little bit dark, there. So it's just up to you how you want to. Here I think we have done a little bit of black. Let's just bring it downwards here. Some irregular shapes. I want to bring that irregular shapes down. So we know, yeah, right, that white is there a little bit inside. So rock shows through, and here a little bit inside, and there too. So I think we are done. Good job. That highlight is there. So light is from this side. The water flowing. The greenery of that green color of this. Then far away a little bit of turquoise grayish color, and then far away. So the thing that we have changed is the foreground stones, just concentrate on this. If not, that one actually you can use sponge and then sea sponge like this one. You can actually use 2 3 layers you need to put, and then concentrate on highlights and shadows where it is supposed to be. So I think that completes the painting. I'm not going to do anything else. Just try to remove this, and then we get to see the border, so we know exactly how it looks. That is there, and this one. I could have made even sky a little bit more grayish, but I think that's okay. It's just grayish, or otherwise you put more blue in that, and then you can get that grayish done. So this is, like I said, this is the canvas cloth. So I'm going to store it as is. So this is what we got, and then just let me know in the comments below how you liked it, and if you have tried, just let me know, because this is one of the challenges that it's not going to be that easy, but you have to concentrate on lights and shadows or colors. That's just I've taken, and then some waves here. So that should be good enough. So I'll if you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel, and then I'll see you next Sunday again with one more painting.
We hope you enjoyed this live stream.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed this live stream, and write in the comments below how you liked it, and then if you tried it out, let me know how it turned out for you, and then don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next Sunday again.